Ta-da! Hi again, it's Eyenie, aka Technicolor Priestess, and I'm doing a second video today. And yes, I did have a wardrobe change. I would not show up twice on a live video with the same outfit, or at least the same accessories. So, okay, so I really felt called to do a video because I'm practicing more. Actually, I love human design and I'm learning more about it. And so one of the things that now I understand why I love this so much is responding. So there were some interesting things happening in my group today, and I wanted to respond because it's really, really valuable information that's going to help you so much. Hi, Mom! Can always count on you. You're having your juice and your coffee, lady. So yes, I'm responding to that. So essentially, here's the scoop, okay? Every single person who comes into my world to work with me is scared shitless, scared, like terrified, like the Dickens are scared out of the people who come to work with me, right? Like they're scared of a part of themselves. They've been hiding part of themselves. There's something about them and who they are really that like petrifies them. Okay, I've heard clients say like it feels like they will lose everyone they love, their significant other will leave them, they will lose all their clients and their business. Like literally, if they show these sides of themselves, their worlds will fall apart. Okay, and the fear is like visceral. So I want to break it down because this is totally connected to your elements. So for those of you who don't know me, and for those of you who need a little refresher, hi whoever's watching. I call myself an iconic image alchemist, and I use the elements, so air, water, fire, earth, and space, to help you understand who the fuck you are, help you navigate the mystery that is you through your elements so that you can express them visually in your outfits and then eventually in other areas of your life, okay? So, in my system, right, the iconic essence system, everyone leads with two elements. Yes. Oh, that's interesting. Yes. There's the 5 elements in Ayurveda. Very cool. So air, water, fire, earth, and space. So everyone leads with 2 of these visually and energetically. So these 2 elements make up your presence. Okay, so this equals like how you show up online, the products you sell, how you market, how you dress, right? It really informs everything. I start with the clothing part, okay? So in my group, okay, well I'm gonna backpedal here. So out of those 2 elements, most people will default to the element, the part of themselves, and give me an emoji if you resonate with this, the part of themselves that feels the safest or the most lovable or the most acceptable or the one that will get the most approval. That is the element, or that is the side of themselves that they lead with and that they show most to the world and to themselves, right? That's the part that's easy to own about themselves, okay? And it happens, it's very obvious in how they dress. So for example, maybe someone who's, for example, me, right? I was always space, and my elements are space and air, okay? So space is a little bit weird, a little bit out there, but it also loves monochromatic. So space, when it's not being fully expressed, it can just always dress in black or always dress in sort of in just neutral colors and very easily disappear into the background, right? And kind of hide its weirdness. And air, on the other hand, is super like, well, basically my earrings are air. I'm a rhinestone cowgirl today. So rhinestones, just silliness, exuberance, right? Kind of quirkiness, that's super air. And I was terrified of both because I was like, part of me is super fucking weird and the other part is like a unicorn and a rainbow and glitter and confetti all got together and created a baby that's tap dancing, okay? And I felt like on the one hand, I'm weird, like people are not gonna get it, I'm too out there. And on the other hand, the air, people are gonna think I'm too bubbly or too like cute and not very smart, right? I was always so petrified of being seen as a freak and as like a bimbo, like an airhead, a dummy, okay? So those both terrified me. So for me, both of my elements terrified me and I disappeared, right? So that's totally common though. Those are the things about me that now I just own, right? Yeah, I'm weird and also I do love glitter and I'm totally silly, and if you don't think that's smart, that's fine, right? But so in my group, a few days ago, I asked which one of your elements, of your 2 elements, because in my group you take my quiz, my free personal style quiz, and you understand your elements and you get the results. And then in the group we start talking about them, right? So you can understand them more and you can start dressing them. So I asked which of your 2 elements scares the shit out of you, okay? And as people started, you know, sharing, like somebody shared fire. Fire scares me because it feels so dangerous and sexy and like edgy, and those things are all fire, right? So it feels like, oh, hi. It feels like that will be scary. That will scare people away, right? Someone else said, you know, my water can be super scary because it's so emotional and so deep. You know, so like feminine, powery that it's kind of intimidating, right? I don't want to feel those deep emotions. And I feel like people are going to think like I'm too this is something that comes up a lot with water, right? People are going to think I'm too intense or too complicated or too sensitive. And that'll make me sort of undesirable, right? Then I had a couple of people mention air. So air feels like it's too outrageous, too colorful, too peppy, too bright, right? So what I want to tell you is that there's when we kind of keep it ambiguous and vague, right? When you don't know your elements, when you don't know or you're not within a framework that helps you understand yourself, it's so ambiguous and vague that you're just like it's hard to get to know yourself. It's hard to understand why you like what you like. It's hard to come to terms with those parts of yourself too, right? When you have the elements though, and you start to actually see how they express, and you start to understand, you know, how they move and kind of their wisdom, because each element carries such different wisdom. They're each connected to different chakras also, right? So they each carry different wisdom. So when we start embracing the wisdom of the elements, we, like, as a sort of side effect, or just, you know, just happens naturally, the more you accept it and embrace it and get to know that element, the more you embrace and accept and get to know that part of yourself. And you start dressing it, and then you start acting it and talking it, right? You really, it brings these different parts of you and like puts them into harmony and integrity so that you can finally start being all of who you are, right? So, and I also want to say that at first it can be so terrifying because we turn everything, like our brain will want to logic it and categorize something like that's dangerous, that's like fire, right? That's dangerous, you're gonna burn everyone, you're gonna scare the shit out of everyone, you're too edgy and loud and flashy and whatever, right? You're gonna stand out too much, get too much attention. But here's the beautiful thing: no 2 people do the elements alike. No 2 people have the same, because there are a few different things about the elements, right? Not only can you decide what aspects of the elements really are a fuck yeah for you and include those in how you dress, right? But those same characteristics, the way you express them, is going to be totally different from how you express them and someone else expresses them. Now, on a different level, you get to turn it way the fuck up. You get to crank up the air or the fire or the earth or whatever, like as much as you want. You get to crank it way up or way down. Like you find your exact volume, right? Whether it's way, like totally whoa, going for it like air, or whether, you know, you're kind of bringing it down. It's just like winks and nods and like alluding, like hat tipping, right? Just saluting the element. You really get to do this in your own way. And this is something that I find people just totally forget. They're like, oh God, I'm air or I'm water. And you think like you have to be all that all the time or not, right? It becomes all or nothing. But I just want to remind you, like, whatever characteristics and whatever traits you carry in your energetic makeup, in your essence, you get to decide how you express them. And that's why I love the visual aspect of the elements, because it's a really easy way to really get your footing and start to understand, just understand yourself and to be able to navigate yourself through what you wear first, right? Can I get an emoji? Come on. I dare you to give me an emoji, whoever's watching. Give me an emoji. Oh, Diana, you did your elements and you have space and air. So we share our elements. Yay! And which one do you feel like you've been defaulting to one more than the other? Has one felt more just kind of easier to go to than the other, or less intimidating? I'm curious to know. Okay, so I really wanted to share this with you guys because it can feel really scary, right? To embrace all these sides of ourselves. But once you slowly, it's a relationship. It's like getting to know somebody, right? So you're getting to know your elements. You're getting to know these different aspects of yourself. that when you get to know them, you know how like, I don't know, I'm just thinking like when you have a date or something, right? Or you like, maybe you see someone, whatever, someone tells you about this person that they're going to send you on a blind date with, right? And they're like, oh my God, this person is like gorgeous and brilliant and amazing and a little bit intense and whatever. So you create this like big intimidating idea in your head of this person, right? And then when you meet, you're like, oh God, it wasn't like that intense, right? Like if you take out the caricature, like we're so nuanced, you are so nuanced that it doesn't have to look any certain specific, like stereotypical way. You see what I'm saying? And once you get to know that person on the date and talk to them and learn about what happened when they were 7 and what weird quirky thing they like and how they love going, I don't know, to the dog park because they love cuddling with dog, I don't know. You learn all these little quirks and these little things and, you know, you find common ground, right? And then they're a lot less intimidating. So it's the same thing with your elements. It's the same thing with those parts of you that you've been totally avoiding because they scare the shit out of you, okay? So I guarantee if you get to know your elements little by little, if you allow yourself, you give yourself permission to start integrating those parts of you that you've resisted like a mofo, magic will ensue. Fucking magic will ensue. I guarantee it. Emojis? Emojis? So who's curious about getting to know themselves better? I'll put the link for the quiz here and for my group too, because we talk about this a lot and I you know, help people navigate that because you get to fucking do this on your terms, right? That's why my framework is not about like, you like have to only wear these things now and your whatever body type and this, there are no rules, right? Because you are so nuanced, we all are. And the way your essence is going to express and those things that are going to come in that you've been, you know, resisting, they're going to be so unique though and so distinct and so like singular, like no one else is going to do it like you, that like there's room for it all, right? It's not like, it's not an exact science and it doesn't have to look any certain way. So anyway, okay, so let me know if you have any questions about this, if this helped. Share your elements if you've taken the quiz. I'll put the quiz here. And also, today is the last day to join Glow the Fuck Up and get social. And part of the big part that we'll be kicking off with this week is discovering your elements. I give you a kit. It's part of your entry, it's a bonus. You get a kit that will explain your 2 elements. You get to know them from the get-go with Pinterest boards and all that good stuff. And then at the end of this week, we're actually doing a 2 freaking hour or an hour and a half. I forgot what I said, but whatever. We're doing a long closet session where you'll start experimenting with your clothing to create outfits that are aligned with your elements. That's what I call hashtag coded outfits. So this shit is happening. And it's a 4-week boot camp. And the point is for you to really not only get to know yourself, but start, you know, leaning into the fucking fear and just allowing yourself to be as big and as magical and as freaking iconic and exuberant and weird, or just all of it, right? As everything as you know that you are meant to be. So that's what it's for. So the doors close today in just a few short hours. And Honest Engine, I don't know if I'll be running this program again. I don't know if I do it again. I don't know if it'll be live. If I do run it again, it will absolutely not be at this price point. Right now it's only $4.97 and there's even a payment plan. I kept it really super low. But the value is mind-blowing. The transformation is mind-blowing. Who you'll be at the end is just, it's so much, yeah, it's worth way more, oh my God, I can't talk, than $4.97. So I'll put the link in here also. And thank you for stopping by. Have a spectacular day. Bye.